They should get the damn money for the victims. Should get
What's
the
up,
money, not to
squad?
kill
Back
his
with
family.
another
Victims
video. I see the title's going
killers.
out. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit that subscribe button.
Happened 1 hour
Please.
ago.
Not gonna lie, I got bored. I definitely got bored. I wasn't gonna drop a video today, but you know, literally, mind y'all, crazy thing is 5 o'clock in the morning right now. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was not doing a video whatsoever. But I was like, you know what? I gotta check this out. Benny always drops a banger. You know, me, myself, Reckless, was being a little lazy. And, you know, I did. Big shout out to Benny. Big shout out to Benny. I had to look at this video. Had to get my input on this video. You already know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's check it out.
Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis announced the news that Karmelo Anthony has been indicted. And guess what? In spite of all of this, Karmelo Anthony and his family are still claiming to be the victims. That's right.
Crazy.
Karmelo Anthony's spokesperson slams white supremacy in wake of charge as teen sets up multi-million-dollar fundraiser for trauma counseling, you see.
That's wild.
So the way the story goes here.
But my thing is, for literally everybody that's constantly in my comments, you know, people that's steady in my comments, like, Reckless, they didn't spend the money on this, they didn't spend the money on that, they didn't spend the money on this. Why they asking for extra? For trauma counseling, they're asking for extra. Mind you, he was in the wrong in all of it. And they got that advocate, Dominique Alexander, and he's not doing nothing but constantly asking people for money. Ask people for money. One thing about it is that when people like myself said that this is more so a money grab, not only for the Karmelo Anthony family, but for Dominique Alexander and his organization, it is. It definitely is. Y'all see it. It was at what? It was set at like 500,000 or something like that, 600,000, and now it's at 1.4 million, almost 1.5 million. I'm telling y'all, it's sad and it's sick.
Is that Karmelo Anthony already has $536,000 in a GoFundMe right now. And if you add the 1.4 million here, you're talking $2 million that they're going to raise for a white kid. And how can we say that so definitively? Well, because now there's footage of it. This is very important in the case, and it's something that we're going to talk about when we describe what these actual charges are and how the district attorney here is going to be charging this, because there's a lot here in the reporting and in the announcement of the indictment. But first, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at Karmelo Anthony's victim statement here. Remember, once a victim, always a victim. It is a mindset, and it is a cancer. Suspect, Karmelo Anthony's family spokesperson, railed against white supremacy after the 17-year-old was indicted for high school track stars. White supremacy. Really? You want to see some black supremacy, go check the comments on the GoFundMe for Karmelo Anthony. It is sick and despicable.
But I feel like that's the first thing that they go after, you know, in saying that. And I just look at it as right or wrong, and people that has common sense about the whole situation. That's how I look at it, because I've seen people of different, I've seen so many different creators of all skin tones look at this, and they like, oh yeah, well, Karmelo, yeah, he seems guilty. In this case, he seems guilty. And I mean, I'm telling y'all, bro, it's, like I said, it's sad.
I mean, Dominique Alexander pleaded with Anthony's supporters to stand with us and fight white supremacy after the teen was indicted for. Alexander added, to the renegades and those who find hate, who targeted Karmelo and his family, and even myself, you do not intimidate us. We are not backing down. Yeah, we're well aware that Karmelo doesn't back down or even listen to people telling him he's in the wrong tent, which was apparently a death sentence for a young white kid. Did you find that amazing? Karmelo Anthony won't be facing the death sentence? Isn't that something? Karmelo Anthony doesn't face the death sentence. Karmelo Anthony was allowed to graduate high school. Austin Metcalf was not allowed to graduate high school. It still is a sick and twisted world. Let's see if we can get some justice out of it. This case is yet another example of what it means to be black in America. when even our self-defense is questioned, scrutinized, and politicized. And that's where I'm going to have a problem. Self-defense, ladies and gentlemen. So as we have reported here time and time again, there is video of the video shows there was no self-defense. To claim self-defense, you're going to have to prove that your life was in jeopardy. Somebody can't punch you in the face, and then you can't do that. In response, somebody can't, shoulder check you, and then you can't. You have to prove that your life was in jeopardy.
Exactly.
That you had to use lethal force in order to prevent you from having your life taken.
Mind you, the reporter, y'all know, if y'all don't know yet, I'm going to tell y'all there's not a lot. Y'all can look it up for yourselves. They let journalists, reporters, whatever, see the footage of what happened. They said, and real talk, it was said that there was no physical, it was no type of physical altercation within it. It was just mainly words. It was mainly words. So that should tell you everything. Like I said time and time again, ever since of seeing this case from the beginning, when I seen the police report, obviously you see the police report, you see what's going on. But then as I got to the end of the police report, I seen so many witnesses. When I tell y'all there's so many witnesses, there's over 30 witnesses. Whether it's video, whether the words that they heard, over 30 witnesses between staff, coaches, and students.
And according to everybody who's seen the video, which is not public yet, which makes me very angry, but they're probably just keeping it for the trial. I'm not sure. Tainted jury pool kind of thing. I think it's probably actually they're going to just lock down the evidence in order to get the conviction, and they'll release it all. I wish they'd just release it, but I understand you got to get a jury and so on. This is a real problem. Karmelo Anthony's entire defense is self-defense. But everybody who's seen the video, and there have been multiple reporters who've seen it and written about it extensively, show that there's absolutely no signs of any physical altercation at all inside of the tent until the stabbing. So what this means is that Karmelo Anthony just decided to, 1, take a weapon, 2, a track meet, very honor student stuff there, then commit because he felt offended, right? Because a white kid told him something, right? And then he fled the scene. That's what the video shows. So then he sprints away and flees the scene after the real innocent people activities there. Anthony's family insists that he was defending himself against Metcalf when he stabbed him to death. Go track meet. Surveillance footage, track meet, viewed by the Daily Mail, appears to show Anthony's attack was unprovoked. Meanwhile, Anthony's latest court documents asked for taxpayer-funded legal counsel for his trial, despite a recent fundraiser that raised almost $600,000. Outrageously, the family raised their fundraising goal to $1.4 million, with Anthony saying some of the cash would go to trauma counseling. The family will continue to use some of the cash to relocate to a safe neighborhood. After the Daily Mail reported they bought a new car and already live in a sprawling $800,000 home in a gated community.
Exactly.
Let's go.
One thing about it is they're trying to get rich off this, and I look at the simple fact that if there are the same people that donated that don't really have it there, that common sense that I was just talking about, they're obviously going to see stuff like this. And what y'all think they're going to do? They're going to go with stuff like this. They're going to continue. And I feel like this is something that you obviously want to, this should be an example. Like I've said before, I feel like this should be an example of what not to do. And if the judge, has that common sense and, smart, she would do that. We obviously seeing really BS, things that we not liking right now coming from that judge. But one thing about it is that it should definitely be an example. After seeing what it was said to where it wasn't anything physical, I mean that really tells you everything.
Check in and see, shall we? There you go. Anthony's family has been renting a $900,000 home in a gated community of Rich Woods, Texas. See here. And here's the family. New shoes and everything for Karmelo. Pizza deliveries, new mansion, new whip. Goodness gracious. Please, you have to now throw the book at him. Like, you have to. This is all that you have to throw the book at him. You can see here, they've increased their fundraising goal to $1.4 million. This is where it's at right now.
It's crazy.
You have to lock him away for 99 years. He's facing 99 years in prison. Not the death penalty, but 99 years in prison? Okay. Put him away forever. Please. You have to do it. You have to prove that you can't just people and then profit from it.
Exactly.
Because that,
that's real.
right now is the message that's being sent. A white person, and then get millions of dollars.
Good.
Yeah, they need a bigger mansion and bigger cars. Cash cow. Cash cow. Who's a cash cow? Okay, here's your white pill, ladies and gentlemen. The district attorney is saying, of course, stating obviously that that Karmelo Anthony stabbed to death Austin Metcalf. Austin Metcalf is the victim. None of the mewling or hand-wringing about historic sins and where does the angst come from. No. Just straight up, for weeks, my team has been presenting evidence to the grand jury. Today, I summarized the evidence, grand jury, and asked them to return a first-degree indictment. That's the highest possible murder in Texas, and they did that. Good. It was a very fast indictment, by the way. This was very quick. It was neck-snappingly quick. From this point, we can move forward. This case has struck a deep nerve here in Collin County and beyond. It's understandable. Something like this happens at a school event, shakes people to the core. Justice system works best when it moves with steadiness and principle. We're committed to doing that, exactly what this case deserves. We're mindful of Austin Metcalf's family and everyone who loved him. Please keep them in your thoughts and your prayers as well. Viewing, see that framing of Austin as the victim? Not saying, oh, they were both just young boys and it got out of hand, or like trying to give some type of you get out of jail free card to Karmelo. Very good. Very good. As a first-degree felony offense, upon conviction, carries a punishment range of 99 years in prison or life in a Texas prison. Texas criminal justice system, 17-year-olds are considered adults, and arrest and indictment are not evidence of guilt, so on and so forth. Okay. There you go. Proven in a court of law. Just a reminder. Victimhood is a cancer. The victimhood mindset is a cancer. Karmelo Anthony's family is claiming they're the victims in all of this. It's sick. It's sick, and we must make an example of this case and put them away for life.
I'm telling y'all, I feel like it definitely should, be an example. I feel like if anything, any type of money, that they're raising, it should go to the Metcalf family. And I'm not saying that I'm saying that for the simple fact, bro, like, I feel like people are looking so much like of Kohler. It's not that at all. I can't say this enough to where it's just that right or wrong thing. It's that right or wrong thing. Obviously, he was in the wrong. From what I'm hearing, from what to come to understand of everything that's coming out. Not even just people that
Shouldn't
telling
been
lies,
there
they
to
saying
begin
this,
with.
they
Go
saying
to
that.
school, don't
Things
go
are
there.
slowly coming out to where it's like people can clearly see a more clear just a more clear vision of he's guilty. You know what I mean? He's guilty, and that's just how I look at it. Ever since I seen that, the reporter said that once they seen that video, and they said it was multiple. Obviously, they couldn't record the video. They couldn't, but they could see it and talk about it. And it obviously said that there was nothing physical about it. Until he, did what he did. So I definitely feel like, he is guilty. People need to realize that and stop basing everything on Kohler. I feel like, again, this has it's really getting out of hand, and this case has gotten out of hand when it comes to that from the beginning. And I'm not saying, I'm blaming this particular group of people. I'm blaming this particular group of people, but at the same time, like, if you know who you are, if you did it, I don't look at it as that way. Now I do, because obviously people are talking about it, and people are bringing it up to where, obviously, they're making it out to be a race thing. But from the get go, from where it started, it's right or wrong thing. Obviously, Karmelo was in the wrong. They're not doing nothing but trying to raise more and more money. Their advocate, Dominic Alexander, is pushing that on them as much as possible to raise more money for his company, NGAN, and for the family. Y'all see that they raised $600,000. and they want more. I'm telling y'all, it's disgusting. It's nasty, and I want to see, although you definitely want to see justice for the Metcalf family, but you want to see good things, coming their way too. We looking in, and all you see is that what Karmelo Anthony's family is doing. They be playing victim, about this whole thing. And trust and believe, he's not. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all.